45 minutes after the top of the hour, he has helped shape some stunning transformations on ABC's Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition. Now Chris Powell is clearing up the myths about eating carbs. How excited are we about this? In his new book, Choose to Lose, the 7-Day Carb Cycle Solution, Chris says you can still have that pasta, bread, or cereal while shedding those unwanted pounds. That's the best news I've heard all week. I'm joined now by author, trainer, and transformation specialist Chris Powell. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Do you know how many people are sitting at home right now going, we love Chris Powell, we love Chris Powell, because we can eat carbs. How do we do it?
Right. Well, you're welcome, first and foremost. But, you know, and that's just the thing. So many people, they got caught up on this low-carb craze. And granted, it gives you instant gratification. But in the long term, it does slow your metabolic rate. Research has proven. And so in order to create a truly sustainable weight loss program, we have to do it with carbs. It's one of the necessary macronutrients in our body.
All right, so let's talk first about portion size. And I know you're going to use your hand and your fist and your thumb to tell us how to do it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's so many different ways, and ultimately it does come into calories in, calories out, but truly counting calories, that's not realistic. I mean, it's even though we know we should do it, it's just something that we don't do. It's not a real-life solution. And check it out. We got these really cool little measuring tools right here with our hands. And so if you want to just get a ballpark estimate on the portion size that we should be eating, well, it's really as simple as this. For your proteins, you should eat about a palm-sized portion of protein, about the size and the thickness of your palm.
That would be like a piece of chicken.
Absolutely, like a piece of chicken or fish or eggs or cottage cheese, all these different kinds of proteins. For a carbohydrate, something about the size of your clenched fist.
Okay.
About the size, or, you know, a tennis ball, or the size of your clenched fist.
So brown rice.
Brown rice, pasta, granola, you know, all these different incredible complex carbohydrates. Fruit, it's already perfectly portioned. There are almost all these different pieces of fruit. They're about the size of a clenched fist.
Right.
When it comes to your veggies, well, most veggies, we can eat them almost unlimited, or if you really want to give them a proper portion size, about the size of 2 clenched fists.
Okay.
And so, and of course, when it comes to your fats, like cheeses or nuts and some oils, about the size of your thumb from the knuckle
I hope I have a big thumb.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm glad you chose the biggest digit.
Well, I've got these tiny little mitts here, so they don't help me much.
All right, so now let's look at a high-carb day, because in your diet, so
Right.
you do this 7-day diet. Some days are high carbs, some days are low. The high carb, you would do what? Give me an example.
Right, so a high carb day, well, a great breakfast would be, say, Greek yogurt for a protein and fruit, which is fantastic. And so essentially what we want to do is we want to take those portion sizes, you know, palm-sized portion and a fist-sized portion of carbs, and we simply combine them. You could do granola and a protein shake. You could do the possibilities are endless.
Okay, what about lunch on that day?
For lunch, you could do, how about some ground turkey and pasta? Mm-hmm. You know, like a whole grain pasta. For dinner, you could do anything from flank steak and potatoes. I mean, so the key is, like, the possibilities are endless. It's
what
about
we have on our board right now, you can
here
can
we go.
of tuna fish for your protein.
Right,
a whole
absolutely.
grain bread, and vegetable iceberg lettuce and tomato.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Now, I know that you probably can stick to your diet because you're busy raising a baby right now.
I am.
So you're really busy doing something else. How is it to be a father?
Oh my gosh. You know, it's amazing. Now, I actually got my first experience with fatherhood about 1.5 years ago, because I'm the stepfather of 2 amazing little kids. So they taught me the whole toddler stage, and they're 6 and 5 right now. But then our newborn, well, he's not so newborn anymore. He's about 6.5 months, and it's amazing. It is so incredible. Little Cash is his name, and I got to tell you, it has changed my life so much, and even my approach with the people that I work with through their transformations. You know, it's crazy how much children teach you about the world, and their questions are so pure and they're so innocent, and they create such a fresh new perspective on things. I mean, it's just.
And they give you hope, and that's what you do to a lot of people when you inspire them to lose weight. And by the way, folks, Chris is going to be judging the Miss America pageant next week on ABC, which I'll be a part of on Saturday night, January 14th. Check it out. Great to meet you, and I'll see you in Vegas.
Thank you so much for having me. I'll see you next week.
Okay,
Thank you.
Take care.
Hey, what's up YouTube? My name's Lloyd Rivers, and thanks for stopping by for the channel. Yes, the reason why I'm setting this channel up is in 2009 I had a very serious, in fact life-threatening accident, which ended my career at the time as a commercial gas fitter. I was in plaster for about 5 months, and I had an additional 6 months of physiotherapy as a result of having pancarpal osteoarthritis. When I originally started this process back 8 months ago, booze was a major problem. I mean, it still is to a degree. What I did to my body back then was tantamount to abuse. I couldn't go out. My arm was in plaster for months, and if you consider a broken leg, I think you're in plaster for like 4 to 6 weeks. I was in plaster for 5 months, and then I had 6 months of rehabilitation. During that time, I pretty much drunk myself to, well, almost to death. It was the only way I could cope, really. Yeah, I couldn't do anything for myself. I couldn't open a tin of beans. I couldn't do anything. And this is something that I really want to avoid now. So it's currently Tuesday, the 7th of August 2012, and on Friday the 10th, just a few days away, at 7 o'clock, I'm having another procedure done on my wrist. This time it'll be the third and final corrective procedure. Basically what the surgeon wants to do is remove all the arthritic bones from my wrist. He's then going to drill my hips for bone, and he's going to fuse the bone into my wrist. Now this procedure is actually going to lock my wrist. There will be no movement. So things like, let's say press-ups and stuff, you know, forget about it, I'm never going to be able to do them. But the key thing is I'm going to be back to 100% strength. So, whereas when I started 7 months ago, I mean, I was literally in tears trying to bench an empty bar. I couldn't use any of the dumbbells. It took months to build up, literally just to bench 5 kilos a side on the bench press. But what I did keep up with was the leg training. I'd done a lot of leg training because it was the only thing I could do well. I think that's going to stand me in good stead that I've got the power now in my legs. So when I go back training after my recovery, I'm hoping that I'm going to kind of reach an equilibrium where my strength in all departments is equal. Obviously, as you can probably well see, I'm nowhere near fitness model already. But I have got an aim, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make the cover of Men's Health June next year. So I've got about 8 months, 9 months. If I miss it, it's no biggie. I mean, I'm going to really go for it. So these videos will be going online, and I'm hoping that there's going to be no slip-ups. But guess what? I'm a real guy. I know there's going to be you know, some struggles coming up. So anything that happens, I'm going to put online, and I'm going to just confess all. I'm going to just show what it actually takes, you know, coming back from, you know, the levels of depression that I was at personally in my own life, and just to hopefully inspire people to follow my journey and maybe start their own.